Hey, Mr. Simon here. So, got the beginnings of a game. The cow can water the flowers, and if one flower stays wilted for 10 seconds, we should get a game over message. Now, in this stage, we're going to add a little bit more of a challenge to the game. If the garden continues to be happy after 20 seconds, we're going to randomly choose one of those flowers and have it mutate into a fangflower. So let's get started. I'm going to stop the game, drag this over to make the code bigger so you can see what I'm doing. And we're going to start by going and adding a new Boolean variable. And this Boolean variable will keep track of whether the cow has touched a fangflower. So we're going to call it fangflower underscore collision, and we are going to set that equal to false for now. And then we're going to create three new list variables. We're going to have a list of all the fangflowers, and we'll start that off as an empty list. But then we're also going to move the fangflowers around the screen, and each fangflower is going to have a speed or a velocity, which is really more correct way to say it, in the X and the Y direction. So there's going to be two more lists that keep track of those velocities. Fangflower underscore VX for velocity X list, and VY for velocity Y list. And those will also be empty. We'll add elements to each of those three lists every time we make a new fangflower. Okay, so now we want to go into draw, and we want to draw all the fangflowers. So right here, after the for loop that draws all the regular flowers, we're going to add a loop that will go through all the fangflowers in the fangflower list and draw them. Okay, so there's our loop, and we'll go fangflower, draw. Cool. And then down here, you might have wondered why we have this if not garden happy. Well, this is if it's the end of the game and it's because the garden's not happy, right? Well, there's another way it could be the end of the game now when we add the fangflowers. Could be the end of the game because the cow got zapped. Okay, so we're gonna have a very similar code inside this else statement here. Except instead of garden unhappy, we will say fangflower attack. Okay, because the cow got zapped by the fangflower. Otherwise, it'll be the same thing. We're going to put it up in the same position, and we're going to also set finalize to true. Next thing, we're going to go down to the check fangflower collision, and we will be setting game over to true here, so we'll need to label our game over variable as global, and then we will check to see if the well, we need a list here first to go through all the fangflowers. For fangflower in fangflower underscore list, so one by one we'll copy each of those into fangflower. And then we'll see if fangflower dot collide rect. We saw that once before when we were looking to see if the cow was watering the flowers. Well, in this case, it's going to be the cow. A rectangle that covers the cow will touch a rectangle that covers the fangflower. And if that's the case, then the cow got zapped. So we're going to change the cow's image to the zap image. All right, we come over here to our image files. It's probably going to be this last one down there. Yeah, there's zap. There's our zap image. Okay, so let's go back up here. So we got, where'd we go? Check fangflower collision. So we changed the cow's image to zap. And of course, this means the game is over. And we can break, right? No use going on. Game's over, right? So we don't have to keep checking. There can be more than one fangflower in the game, but you have to be pretty good to keep playing, or at least that's my experience. I've only had I've only got to the place where there are 2 fangflowers in the game before I had to stop. Next thing, we're going to come down here and we're going to write code in velocity. Now, it took me a while to kind of wrap my head about what the velocity of the fangflowers means. We're first going to start with a random number that's either 0 or 1. That's going to be the direction. So depending on whether we're looking at X or Y, it might be up versus down, or it might be left versus right. And then we're going to have a speed. They call this random velocity. And the speed is just how fast it's going to travel in that random direction. And that's going to be a random number that's either 2 or 3. Okay. So then we're going to come down here and we're going to check the random direction. So we're going to say if randr double equals 0, then that means it's going to be traveling in the negative direction. So that would mean going up, right? If we were going up or down, so we would return a negative. Need to spell return correctly. Return a negative random velocity. Otherwise, we'll return a positive random velocity. So, random velocity is either 2 or 3. So depending on what this variable is, we're either going to return -2 or -3, or we'll return +2 or +3. So that's really all velocity is doing. It's just generating one of 4 possible numbers, -3, -2, +2, +3. And we'll see how to use that in just a little bit here when we get to mutate. So I'm going to stop and kind of cheat here, and I'm going to go get the mutate function and come back. Okay, here's our mutate function. So if the game's not over and we have at least 1 flower in the flower list, we're going to randomly pick 1 and mutate it into a fangflower. So this is where we randomly pick which one we're going to mutate. We get the X and Y coordinates of that flower. Then we delete the flower from the flower list, and we make a new fangflower that has those same X and Y positions. And this is where we call the velocity function that's going to set the velocity or the speed that the fangflower is going in the X and Y directions. Each of them is going to be randomly -3, -2, +2, or +3. We'll add the fangflower to the list, and then we'll add the X and Y velocities of that fangflower to their lists, and we'll schedule a clock to call mutate 20 seconds from now. So every 20 seconds, we should mutate another flower into a fangflower. So if you played this game for a full minute, you should be able to have 3 fangflowers in the game. I never got that far. Okay. Our next one is going to be to do the update fangflowers. I'm going to go get that code. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's what's going on in update fangflowers. Obviously, don't want to do this if the game's over, but if the game's not over, we're going to loop through all the fangflowers. Now, we have to keep track of where we are because we have 3 lists that all apply to a single, to each of the fangflowers. So we need to keep track of our index. We're going to move the flower in the X and Y directions by its velocity. So if it's -2 or -3, that's moving it to the left in the X direction. +2, +3, it's going to move it to the right. In the Y direction, -2 or -3 would move it up. +2 or +3 would move it down. So it's always going to be making kind of a diagonal across the screen. And then we've got some code here that's basically going to bounce it off the sides. So if it gets all the way to 0, it's been traveling to the left, and we're going to make the velocity the opposite, the negative velocity, and that'll make it positive, and so the fangflower will bounce off that left side of the screen and go right. Now, none of these functions that we have are going to run until we call them. So we're going to go to the update function, and first thing we're going to do is we're going to call the fangflower collision function, or the check fangflower collision function. So we'll go fangflower collision equals check _ fangflower collision. Okay, so we're going to need to add that. That's supposed to be check. Going to need to add that fangflower collision variable here to our list of global variables, because that was one of the global variables we made at the beginning. Okay, so now we're going to call the check fangflower collision function. It's going to return to true or false, and we'll use that to check on the fangflower. Okay, next thing we want to do is we want to call mutate, and we're going to do that down here at the bottom. But we're not going to call mutate immediately. We want to make sure that enough time has elapsed. So we're going to say it's greater than 15 seconds. And we want to make sure we've got some flowers, right? So the len of the fangflower list should be 0, right? So this means at the very beginning of the game, we are only going to call that mutate function once, but then later, after more time has elapsed, we'll call it again. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to call update fangflowers. Oops, that's fangflowers. Oops, there we go, fangflowers. Okay, so this is only going to call mutate once, but then remember up in mutate, we scheduled a clock that will call mutate again every 20 seconds after that. So this is just to get mutate going the first time. So let's try this out. Fingers crossed. Keep our eyes on the console for any error messages, and let's see if this works. Okay, so here we go. Now you want to stay away from the flowers once you've watered them, because one of them is going to change into a fangflower, and so it's really easy to get caught when you're watering the flower. Oop, there it goes. Render is not defined, and this is on. Where's render? Let's drag this up so we can see this a little bit better here. Render in velocity. Okay, so randomdir, there you go. That is absolutely right. I never defined a random underscore dir. Looks good. Okay, try this again. Okay, let's go water that one. Good. Oh, there's our fangflower. Now notice it's bouncing off the edges here. Oh, I got zapped. So there you go. Okay, we are done. Hope you enjoyed it. I had a really good time. Thank you for watching.